Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to our Shred call. We're so excited to have you all on board. The reason that we wanted to come together tonight and talk a little bit about our Shred program is January 1 is going to be here before you know it. And January is typically a time where people say, hey, I want to revisit my health goals and I want to look at different programs and maybe figure out something that would be a good fit for me. So what we talk about with our Shred10 program, my name's Andrea LaPlante, for those of you who don't know me. I'm a national marketing director with the Juice Plus Company, certified health coach with Dr. Sears Wellness Institute, and I love to surround myself with like-minded people who are on this call, who are joining us, who love this community. And what I'm going to share with you is that the Shred is not something to do in just January. We're bringing it up right now because we want people to get ready, and if it's something that they want to take part in, they'll have the education and knowledge to move forward. But the Shred is something that we do every month, year after year after year. It's a lifestyle, just like adding the nutrition, Juice Plus nutrition, and eating good food and clean eating and sleeping and brushing your teeth. It's working a muscle and getting us in the habit of good habits today and every day. But the reason we're going to talk a little bit about the Shred is because it is a program. It's not a diet, which is what I love. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle approach to clean living and clean eating. So what I'm going to do is pull up a slide right now. And I want to share just a little bit quickly with you. So Linda, give me a thumbs up if you can see this. Okay, great. So basically there are two trends that are startling the world right now. And most of us know that our environmental toxins are increasing. And you'll see in the slides, I don't have to go through it, but you can see all the toxins here in the image. I'm a visual girl, so I love to see that. But at the same time, our food quality is decreasing. And you look at the grocery stores today, the thing about the grocery stores, you don't really smell food when you walk in a grocery store. It's actually kind of sterile. You're supposed to be able to smell spices and herbs and food that you're going to eat, and the herbs and things like that. You're supposed to be able to smell. Things are supposed to be alive. And if you look at the way we've evolved as a society, a lot of things are now packaged. They're in boxes and they're on shelves, and they're made to sit there with preservatives and flavor enhancers, emulsifiers, synthetic vitamins, genetically modified. You can see the list goes on. And we really don't want to take part in that. That's not healthy living. It's something we've evolved to, and a lot of companies are taking advantage of marketing strategies to our young generations, to ourselves, with things on boxes, and then you have to look at the ingredients. It can be very confusing. So in those two slides we just saw, that the toxins are in the environment. It's just, that's how we're living today. And at the same time, the food quality is decreasing. So that's an issue in order to stay on top of our health. So I mentioned a little bit about how the Shred10, and I have it written down, and I'll let everybody know, our Shred10 program is starting on January 9th through January 18th. And it's 10 days to really use the term of detoxing. It's not a benefit of detoxing is losing weight, but detoxing is really just giving our body the tools it needs to get rid of the impurities in our body that are adding up, right? And as we age, we accumulate more and more. You think of a sponge, right? Just soaking in, getting really heavy. Well, when you squeeze that sponge, you let all of that go, all of that excess water. We want to think about getting all of those toxins out of our body. You can even see dieting over exercising. What happens is our body stores fat because it envelops the impurities, the toxins in our body. And no matter how much working out we do, if we don't actually break the toxins down, the fat will not leave our body. It's doing its job. It's saying, you know what, I'm going to protect this human so that these impurities don't get into their internal organs and hurt them. So I'm just going to stay here and envelop that toxin until it gets, then there are different ways to release toxins. But one of them is through sweating when we go to the bathroom. So we want to make sure the exercising is there. And the other piece of that is micronutrition and clean whole food and the phytochemicals in the food that break toxins down. So that's what we really want to be doing, and eliminating things that are adding to the toxic load. So you can even see this stored fat with the person on the left-hand side. And when you shed fat, you lose the toxins, and the individual on the right there keeps the fat off. So you're better overall health, less fat, more muscle, and there's no rebound. And how do you do that? When we talk about adding micronutrition, these are just beautiful slides to show some of the solutions we have. And once this little slideshow is over, we're going to share some of the benefits of the shred and what it's done for us. But ways to do that is to grow your own food. You don't have to worry about contaminants or impurities on them. And we have the option of the Tower Garden Flex and the Tower Garden Home, and you can learn about that and reach out to the person that invited you onto this call if you'd like to have a Tower Garden. You can see in Linda's Zoom in the back, she has her Tower Garden. You can grow year-round indoors. And the plants that are growing on the Tower Garden, if you grow a variety, adding those to your smoothie, eating them, putting them on your plate, those phytonutrients going to help break down toxins in the body. And then, of course, we have the 45 whole plant foods, which is another rainbow of color, phytonutrients. And these plants have been allowed to ripen on the vine, so they have a nutrient density unlike anything we get at a supermarket. They're allowed to ripen on the vine, they're crushed whole, and they are tested for contaminants. So again, it helps with breaking down toxins in the body, which is exactly what we're looking to do. And part of our shred program, and we'll talk a little bit about what it looks like, but thinking about how often you normally eat and the glycemic index. And Linda was talking a little bit about blood sugar, and she's getting really well versed in this. She's also a health coach, and we're going to have another call on just blood sugar and how that affects your cravings. But the influence of the glycemic index on blood glucose level is huge. And it's part of whether people talk about having willpower. It's not about willpower. It's more about eating the right foods that balance your blood sugar. And one of the reasons this slide is up against the Complete by Juice Plus is because Complete is low glycemic. It's a protein powder with a low glycemic index. And you can see everything else is plant-based version, prebiotic, which is amazing, all of those good things. But in terms of keeping your blood sugar stable, just a pro tip is before you go to any holiday party where there's going to be a lot of sugary treats and a lot of food that you might not eat, and you feel like maybe you'd be hungry there and grab things you shouldn't, or you don't really want to, just have a shake before you leave, and it keeps your blood sugar stable. So you walk in and nothing appetizes you because your blood sugar is where it needs to be, and you're not going to be grabbing things. So in terms of talking about how do I stay in this healthy shape and fit and feel good on a regular basis and not fluctuate with my weight, it's shedding toxins every day and also keeping your blood sugar stable. And the Complete is absolutely amazing with that. I honestly have had the Complete every day for 10 years. I use the Perform a lot now too, but it keeps me satiated, and that's huge. So you're not grabbing things and looking for things. You can just stay in a place. I'm not going to eat until I find something that's going to nourish me. We have the Juice Plus Omega Blend. Again, this is vegan, 100% plant-based. And the Complete, you can see we have there for the low glycemic index, but these are all things that are going to help shed toxins. Again, the Perform by Juice Plus is 25 grams of plant protein. I've been adding this daily after my workout, and it's been a game changer for muscle. And as we age, we lose muscle. We don't want to lose muscle. So we want to make sure our bones are strong and healthy. We want to keep our muscles intact. We want to feel good and look good and be able to have these options of these plant-based versions of 25 grams of proteins. Amazing to have first thing in the morning. That really helps restore the body's protein from the night before. So the shred the food toxins and habits that are not serving you. And what are the guidelines of what is the shred? The shred is a lifestyle approach, adding more plant foods in the capsules, which has all those micronutrients in it that will help detox the body. 1 to 2 complete shakes a day, plenty of water, taking 10 deep breaths, and getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep daily. And the 7 to 8 hours is huge because that's where we do all of our detoxing, is when we get into really good sleep. The body is working on healing and it's working on detoxing at that time. Exercising, that's going to help shed those toxins as well with that sweat. And reducing or eliminating caffeine and alcohol, eating after 6, processed foods. If you can reduce and eliminate gluten and dairy and artificial and refined sugars. Now, this is 10 days, and it's meant to help support you on this health journey. And what happens over time, maybe you do really well in one area, but maybe you don't eliminate absolutely everything, but you've noticed you've cut down on your coffee intake for 10 days. Or maybe you're not adding something in your coffee and you're now drinking it black for 10 days. Or maybe you reduce the caffeine, or maybe you don't have any alcohol for 10 days, or you've stopped eating after 6. Pick something that works for you and give yourself the ability to really give your body a kickstart. So you feel really good about what you did during that 10 days, but you don't have to be perfect in it. You do the best you can. If you can do the shred to a T and you want to do that, you will notice some big benefits of that. And some of the most common results are craving more fruits and vegetables, a healthier weight. One of the side effects of the shred is actually losing weight, better recovery from workout, improved sleep, increased energy, healthier hair, nails, and skin, improved regularity, and increased mental clarity. Now, who doesn't want to experience all of that? And just to give everybody an eyeball look at the research and what we're all about, we're the most researched brand name nutritional product in the world. So if you want more information on that, you can let us know. But on the shred journey, you'll want to add your nutritional capsules and your shake. We have a shred guide. I'm actually going to play the Daily Detox with Dr. Mitra Ray, so you can get a little bit of an understanding from the biochemist who created it. We have a Facebook group to add you in. We also have the Shred10 cooking guide, and we have just some other options that we can share with you if you're interested in that. So I'm just going to stop the share here. You can see the options of how to get started. You can ask the person who invited you onto the call. So right now I'm just going to, let me see if I can share Dr. Mitra Ray. I just want to make sure that I have the audio on because I've done that before. Yes. Okay. The sound's on. See if we can get this to work.
Hi, my name is Dr. Mitra Ray, and I want to quickly tell you a little bit about myself. I was born in India and moved to the United States when I was 8 years old. I watched my parents struggle with the pressures of being first-generation immigrants and how they fell ill due to the stress and other lifestyle factors. I lost my father to his second heart attack and my mother to Alzheimer's. I became interested in studying health at a very early age because I did not want to end up getting old before my time. Over the years, I have come to realize that I have the critical mind of an engineer and scientist as well as a healer's heart. I love to share what I have learned with others and guide people to the quickest and simplest path to optimal health. And I like to keep things real. I'm a busy mom, so I truly honor people's limited time and budget. I have spent more than 3 decades researching and directly working with people's health. Today, I am excited to share the Shred10 program with all of you. The 10 in Shred10 refers to the 10 important guidelines that can quickly and safely lead you to optimal health. Shred10 is doable, affordable, and flexible enough for you to make these guidelines work most of the time for the rest of your life. So let's talk about how these 10 guidelines can change the rest of your life. Now, whether you're pretty healthy already or you have some kind of chronic condition, there are 2 trends that are affecting all of us today and our children. The first is the decline in the quality and nutrient density of our food. Why are companies having to fortify your food? And why are so many people taking supplements? It's because the food we're eating is not grown, nor harvested, nor delivered to your plate in the same way it used to be for your parents and grandparents. The second trend is the increase of toxicity on the planet. The combination of increased toxicity and decreased quality of nutrition is at the basis of all disease, or at least a major contributing factor. In fact, It's not just the toxins you're exposed to in your lifetime that are at play here. Did you know that the toxins your grandparents were exposed to are having an effect on you, and consequently your exposure to toxicity is going to affect your progeny? So what kind of toxins are we chronically exposed to? First, since the Industrial Revolution, we've seen a steady increase in the number of new chemicals created by man, and burning these chemicals as well as fossil fuels is drastically increasing over time. Scientists are producing hundreds of new pesticides, and they're not spreading salad dressing on your vegetables out there on those farms. You may have recently learned how your favorite cereal brand, along with so many other processed products, are laden with glyphosate, and this has been a serious health hazard. Now, what are endocrine disruptors? They are plastics that mimic hormones in the body. So all the saran wrap and the plastic containers that hold our food leach out plastic into your food, and this daily exposure really disrupts your ability to regulate your own hormones. Heavy metals are everywhere. For instance, there's a thin layer of lead all over the planet due to leaded paint and gasoline. And then there's all the food additives and preservatives that are also adding to our daily toxic load. Now, some government standards would say that these individual exposures are within some kind of safe limit, but the reality is that the combination of all these sources of toxins are playing havoc on your system. This is a huge problem, and instead of focusing on cleansing the body, most doctors are trying to merely treat the symptoms, usually with minimal success. Most people don't immediately connect the dots between how they feel and how many toxins they're being exposed to daily. We are hugely misinformed of how can we get rid of these toxins. Your liver is called the brain of the digestive system, and one of its main functions is to clean up the blood circulating in your body. The liver is smart enough to know what molecules are useless or what actually is harmful to the body. And it has the capacity to biotransform these molecules into something that can be excreted out. These fat-soluble toxins become biotransformed via what are called phase 1 and phase 2 reactions into water-soluble metabolites that can be eliminated through your urine. And since most of the toxins are fat-soluble, such as pesticides, what also comes out is the extra fat that is being held with those toxins, and the extra fat comes out through your stool. Fat is shed by the body during this cleansing process, and this is way better than burning fat through diet and exercise. These reactions require loads of cofactors and catalysts that come from eating a wide variety of vegetable matter, that is, fruits and vegetables. So consider that you might be exactly at the weight you need to be given a lifetime of exposure to toxins accumulated over time. Since most of these toxins are fat soluble, the body stores them within your fat cells, and this has the added benefit of protecting your vital organs, such as your heart, your brain, from being directly exposed to these toxins. Getting fat, therefore, is a protective mechanism. Now, this slide represents a person on the left with many impurities in their body that has been stored in the fat in order to enrobe these toxins. Their attempts to burn fat makes them rebound. Why is that? First, their body was storing extra fat as a protective mechanism in order to keep vital organs from toxic exposure. So when you burn the fat, either by dieting or by over-exercising, you actually increase your toxic exposure. Then the body rebounds and hangs on to even more fat to try to protect itself. When you try to burn the fat, whether through diet or exercise, you become more toxic, feel worse, and the body rebounds. Burning fat, whether through diet or exercise, without addressing the need of the body is counterproductive. In other words, trying to burn fat is in opposition to what the liver is trying to do. You will have more success if you think of your liver and help your liver work better for you. We have to work with a natural desire for the body to get rid of the toxins so you can shed the fat off instead of burning the fat off. By the way, this kind of detoxification is happening in all the cells in the body, but primarily in the liver. It's also happening in the trillions of microorganisms, such as the bacteria that live inside of us. Most people are not aware of just how toxic they are and how much produce it takes daily to complete this process. I cannot stress this enough. You cannot eat your way there in this toxic world. You have to supplement with additional plant matter in whole food form if you expect to look and feel your best. Too many people accept a less than optimal state of health and chalk it up to the aging process. So we can help the body by increasing our intake of fruits and veggies. Here, we need to think of variety as well as quantity. Each color and each type of plant gives your liver more tools to work with as far as catalysts that can cope with a plethora of toxic chemicals. Fortunately, nature has provided us with an incredible cornucopia of plants, and they're filled with protective nutrients known as phytochemicals. Phyto meaning plant. You have to match the myriad of toxic chemicals with an equally robust set of phytochemicals from a large variety of plants to meet this toxic challenge we face every single day. Now, look what happens when we cleanse instead of dieting or over-exercising. Here, you have the same person with all the toxicity and extra fat. When plants are part of their ongoing cleansing program, they can remove the toxins and shed the fat very easily, even without an excessive amount of exercise. Most cleanses don't leave much room for exercise because when the body's cleansing, it has little energy left for an exercise regimen. Let me conclude by saying that it is easier to maintain a better state of health for the rest of your life if you cleanse the toxins out regularly by helping the liver get the cofactors it needs from plants. People have been doing cleanses forever. They are part of many ancient rituals and traditions world over. Water fasting and juice fasting are ancient practices with a long history. The only problem with them is that they make you weak and unable to function. I have done a water cleanse twice now in my life where I was strictly drinking water for about a week. I went to a water cleansing clinic and paid them lots of money to not feed me anything. When you simply drink water, you promote the liver to cleanse by activating those phase 1, phase 2 reactions I showed earlier. Let me tell you, I was curled up in a ball, detoxing for that week. There was nothing wrong with me. I was simply wanting to experience this process to see if I wanted to recommend it to others as a healing modality. And I got very weak in the process, and it took me months to recover my strength. So I detoxed, but at what cost? People are realizing that cleansing is important, and the market is full of cleansing and intermittent fasting programs. But how do you know if they really work? Just because you lost weight doesn't mean you lost fat. Is it helping you lose lean mass or gain lean mass? Is there any clinical research? There are too many questions. Shred10 is unique because you can modify the cleanse so that you minimize detox and you can continue to live normally and not lose your strength. In fact, if you exercise, you're going to gain lean body mass and bone density and more defined muscles. Normally, I recommend you not exercise when you do a water fast or juice fast or a master cleanse or some of those commercial cleanses that are on the market today. With Shred10, not only can most people start and continue to exercise, but it's a recommended part of the program. With enough whole food plants in the diet, exercise then becomes an aid to the process of detoxification. Now, the first part of the challenge is really the easy part. Say yes to 2 shakes a day and all the Juice Plus capsules. First of all, 2 shakes a day makes it very easy to make 2 easy, healthy meals that help you feel full and not guilty. In fact, you'll feel so good, and you'll save some money, and you'll be eating something that's really going to fill you up and make you feel healthy. Second, instead of wondering how much of this or that vitamin you should take, Juice Plus capsules are actually full of real fruits and vegetables and plant omegas, so you can get all the nutrients that Mother Nature wants you to have. This is a whole food based program because you don't have a vitamin deficiency. You have a whole food deficiency in our modern world. Now, many people look to vitamins to make up for what they're not getting in Mother Nature. I kind of think of vitamin supplements as old technology, like black and white TV. Today we have high definition 4K TVs. Which one would you rather watch? Unlike traditional vitamin supplements, Juice Plus is a whole food product. When you eat an orange, do you eat the rind of that orange? That is where most of the nutrition, such as the bioflavonoids of the orange, actually live. And how about the core of the pineapple, or the carrot greens, or the beet greens? Do you eat this kind of variety daily? Have you ever eaten 8 kinds of berries in one day? Did you know that only plants make omega fats, and the fish get them from eating algae? Instead of taking vitamin supplements or high-dose omega-3 fish oils that can give you fishy burps, Juice Plus fruit, veg, berry, and omega capsules are the premier whole food supplements on the market that actually have independent clinical data to back them up. You can feel confident that these products have been researched for over 2 decades by institutions around the world on different human populations of different ages, healthy and sick. It's like oxygen, just take it. I've been taking it for over 25 years now. The other half of the story are the shakes.
I'm just going to stop it here because I think we got a good idea from Dr. Mitra Ray of how incredible this nutrition is. So I want to go around now. Linda, go ahead and share the benefits and why you love this program so much.
Sure. So I'm Linda Kelly. I'm a certified health coach, and I started just taking the capsules about 3 years ago. And I just thought back to where I was when I started with Juice Plus, and right before I heard about the Shred. I was on 7 medications. I had seasonal allergies for a good 40 years. I had insomnia, wasn't sleeping from 2 to 5 p.m. for decades and decades. And, I was kind of a skinny fat. I always thought, oh, if you exercise, you were okay. But I didn't realize you could have all these toxins in there. And, I was definitely feeling less than optimal. I was feeling really crappy. And I saw the Shred, and honestly, I was overwhelmed. I was also in an overwhelmed state of my life, but I looked at all these things and I was like, oh my goodness. So I was a voyeur for a few months. And then I started being like, oh, all right, well, I can do one, or I can kind of reduce, maybe I wasn't going to eliminate, but I was going to, just cut back on gluten or cut back on dairy. I used to have ice cream every night. And then all of a sudden I started on the shakes, and all of a sudden I literally went to the fridge. I went to grab the ice cream and I went, I don't even feel like this. And then I realized this whole thing, I was starting to understand like this blood sugar, that it was the complete was helping my kick my cravings. So and time after time, when you think about the Shred, 10 days a month, 12 months a year, that's 120 days that you're shredding these toxins. That's a third of the year. So I've done it for, a good 2.5 years. It's a lot, that's a lot of days, over 1,000 days. And I guess one of the biggest benefits of it, cumulatively, is that I just started by adding more good. And then I sort of crowded out the bad, because once I started eating more good, so now things I never ate before were, salads for lunch, and, having extra greens and stuff like that, and even growing my own greens now. I used to be allergic to most fruits and vegetables, and the capsules helped me. They were actually what I needed to heal my body. And then the Shred just added on to it by getting rid of all the excess inflammation in my body. So, now I look at it as a lifestyle. And for these 10 days, I sort of hone in on, pick 1 or 2 things every month that we do it, and really kind of try to focus on it, and then keep on going with it on this journey. So
I love it, Linda. Thank you so much for
You're welcome.
sharing that. So go ahead, the way you guys are set up now. Shelley, you go next, then Cindy, and then Mary. Oh, Shelley, you're muted. There you
Sorry,
go.
sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. Well, I can say that back in June, it's been about 6 months now. Back in June, I started basically the shred, but instead of doing it for the 10 days, I just continued doing it every day. I tried to adopt, like Linda said, one thing at a time. Tried to focus on my water one day, and then, with the mindset of just getting all the refined and processed foods out of my diet. And one thing led to another, and I was adopting, I was taking the Juice Plus capsules, doing most everything other than exercise. That's my hardest thing to incorporate. In the, I'd say, first 5 months, I was feeling incredible. I had lost 30 pounds as a byproduct. I had blood work done, and my doctor couldn't believe my triglycerides, my cholesterol, which had been on the higher side. My triglycerides came down, that got cut in half. I mean, all of a sudden, my cholesterol was just exactly where she wanted it to be. Everything, just everything. My vitamin D was high, everything was great. And it was just such an awesome feeling to get that kind of report. And she said, well, what are you doing? And I said two things. And not to get into we're going to talk about blood sugar and how that's directly related to, a lot of things with our diet. But I've been wearing a glucose monitor just so that I can keep the sugar level down, very, very little sugar. And I told her about the shred and the plant powders. And she says, keep doing what you're doing. This is phenomenal. And
Amazing.
It's
amazing, Shelley.
I know, it really is. And my body has changed, but my mind has changed.
Mm-hmm.
And everything I'm doing, every choice I make at mealtime, or, even if I'm out somewhere, I don't want to I think of my body as, I visualize how my body is going to be receiving all of this from the inside,
Mm-hmm.
as a machine. And, I do a lot of the visualization, and it makes, it makes you want to stay on track.
Makes
and
you want to keep feeling as good as you do.
Absolutely. It makes me
And
want
you
to
realize you don't need to eat all the food that's around you. You can go to an event and say, that's not for me, and you're okay with it, and go home and then maybe make your shake or have a salad, and you can be hungry for a little while. I think our society is so used to, you go and you eat whatever's there. Well, you have a choice to not do that and fuel the way you want. And it's okay to be hungry. It's okay to have that feeling and maybe just wait till later, or,
It is. And we have the tools, like you said,
yes.
the complete is something that I've just recently, another part of the shred that I was upset because I'm not a smoothie person at all. And I wanted to incorporate complete, and I wasn't sure how. And then Linda kept saying to me, make a pudding. And I don't know why I thought it was going to be, oh, all right, yeah, I'll make a pudding. All it was the complete and a little bit of my almond milk. And I literally, as I did the video the other day about it, I love it. It serves dual purpose. It actually, if I have a little sweet craving, it knocks it right out. And with that, I'm also getting all that great nutrition. So
right. And it's easy to do. It only takes 2 seconds.
So easy.
So it's all about healthy fast food, being able to be consistent with this in our life over time. It's not a fad. It's not going to change. We're still going to need these plants to detox for the rest of our life. It's just the way nature intended us to eat and live. And this is something that we can continue to do for the rest of our lives.
And it is. And when you do it and you put the work into it and dedicate yourself to it, when you see the results, like I saw the results just in my last physical, with my blood work and all of that, it is so rewarding. And it shows you that this is real. This really works, which just makes you want to keep doing it. So
congratulations and thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay, Cindy Deltano, share what you love or your benefits.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Cindy Deltano. Shelley and Linda did a wonderful job talking about the Shred10, and Andrea did awesome as well. I kind of do it all the time, though. It's the way I eat more so than anything else. And I think as you start it, you kind of eventually will end up just eating what is on the Shred10. Because it's so healthy for you. You can see my picture of my tower garden behind me. I had so many tomatoes, it was awesome. But that's something that I grow and I share with my family and my neighbors year round, and it helps us eat very well and stick to taking the capsules and the shakes and sticking to the foods from the Shred10. And I started it, I think going on almost 10 years ago now. And I was really sick, and it really woke me up. So I always tell people it gave me my life, it saved my life, and it gave me my life back. So I love the product, love doing the Shred10. It's very easy and very simple to add into your daily routine indefinitely. So hopefully if anybody has any questions, they can ask any of us on the call, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. And Mary, you're next.
Hi, everybody. Mary Principe. Well, I started the Shred in 2015 because I was going to my 50th nursing school reunion, and I will steal a phrase from Dr. Du Bois, who said when he got into Juice Plus, it changed his life because he was getting old and frumpy. Well, I was getting old and frumpy too. So just to keep it short, I do the Shred every day. It's become a lifestyle for me. When I started the Shred in 2015, I discovered that I had a gluten allergy. So I just can't eat gluten. And that's one of the things that I think created a lot of inflammation in my body. So giving up that was easy. And now I have a dairy allergy. So I don't do dairy, I don't do gluten, and now I don't do alcohol. And I live the Shred pretty much every day. Once in a while, I have a dairy-free ice cream on a stick, but other than that, I just live it. And I have to tell you that I'm 78. I think I'm 78, yeah. And I feel good. I exercise. I do some kind of exercise every day. Water aerobics, yoga, dance, line dancing, belly dancing. I'm always doing something, and I travel a lot. So all I want to say is that I eat 3 meals a day now. I've started doing what Andrea does, and I have the 25-gram protein. When I go to water aerobics, I take it in my little cup and I drink that. But I have a smoothie bowl every day. So I put a whole bunch of nutrients. I put Tower Garden greens, flaxseed, chia seeds, avocado, almond butter, berries, and complete. And I have a smoothie bowl every day. Then I eat a salad for lunch and a light meal. Feel great. So thank you to the Shred and to Andrea for introducing me to Juice Plus all those years ago. It's changed my life. When you get to be my age and you see so many people around you that have so many chronic illnesses, and like Shelley, when I go to the doctor once a year and have my blood work, it's all normal. So I'm proud of that, and I'll just keep doing it because not only do I want to live longer, I want to feel good while I'm living longer. You know, I'm a nurse, and for years I saw people sometimes in their 40s and 50s with chronic illnesses that their life their quality of life was terrible. So if we're going to live longer, we want to have a high quality of life. And this is one program that really enables us to do that.
Thank you. Thank you. That's amazing. All of you, all of your tidbits. And, I think for me, one of the biggest eye openers was understanding that we really are living in such a toxic environment, and not to be doom and gloom. It's just how our body's responding to all the toxins. And we receive toxins from our mothers when we're babies in utero. By the time we get older, we've been exposed to so much. And unless we actually are able to manage and eliminate them on a regular basis, our body just can't handle it all. And this is just a way to make sure that we stay on top of it, and we stay at the top of our game. Just as Mary had said, we want to live as long as we can, feeling as good as we can. And once you get into this lifestyle, it does become a lifestyle. But I would have to say, one of the things I've noticed over the last couple of shreds for me was eliminating alcohol. And I've noticed I don't have as much alcohol in my, I used to maybe have a glass of wine during the week, or maybe, in the summer have this or that. I've really kind of taken alcohol out of the equation to see how it made me feel. And it's made a big difference. Does that mean I don't have alcohol here and there? I do, but I manage it so much better now, because you can have one here and then go to, to an event, have one here, and then by the time you look at, if you were to write it down, you're having a drink here and here and there. And I realized I was drinking a lot more than I thought I was. So removing the alcohol for me, it was a social thing. And I've realized, I don't need as much as I was having, and I can pick and choose when I want, and that's fine too. So anyways, that's just an example of how the shred works. You're focusing on different things. You're trying to get better in certain areas. Maybe it's your sleep, maybe it's your exercise, maybe, and while you're doing all this, you're making sure to add all the phytonutrients in your diet 7 days a week, regardless of whether you're doing the shred or not. And you're doing all of these same things. It's just these 10 days, we take it up a notch to help ourselves stay on track of all the toxic overload. So thank you all for joining tonight. If you want to learn more about our program, again, we're starting on January 9th, all together on a Facebook group page, and we love to post and share what we're doing. What's amazing about that page is you see all the plant-based meals. Some of them are plant-based, others, but they're just clean eating. And you can get a lot of recipes and ideas of what to have, or even how to drink your water and make sure you're drinking half your body weight, or there's so many different ideas and things that we all talk about. And so it's just a great group to be a part of. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Went a little bit over, but our next call and gathering is going to be on January, actually no, it's on Tuesday, December 20th, on Tuesday from 12:30 to 1, if you happen to be able to jump on for 30 minutes during the day. And we're going to be talking about the glucose goddess and blood sugar. So feel free to join us then, and we will try and get that into Project Health as well. So thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Night.
Nice to
Andrea.
see you
Bye,
all.
everybody.